Good afternoon. We're going to be doing some compression testing on the Saab.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. And I'm going to take off right now the direct ignition cartridge, which will show our spark plugs, and then we'll take off the spark plugs and do some testing. All right, well, more in a minute, but this is the engine. I'm going to take it out. This is the direct ignition cartridge, and lift it right out. And as you can see, there are the spark plugs down below. Be right back. So if you look down, you can see where it says number 4, 3, 2, and 1. And initially when we changed the spark plug, if you look down in there, there was essentially a pool of oil. So today we're going to check and see, was it coming from a leaky gasket right here, or was it coming from inside? So I'm going to have to take out the spark plug with this. Okay, I'm going to try to reach in there and get the spark plug out. Engine's a little hot. I don't know if I can grab it. Spark plug is out. Spark plug is right here. Go ahead.
We're going to check the compression on the Saab 2.0 motor now that Tom here has replaced the gasket on top of the valve cover. This happens to be a compression tester tool. Compression tester tool is made up of a gauge along with a hose. What we're going to do is we're going to connect the hose to where the spark plug would go in. Then we're going to crank the engine, preferably without fuel. Best to disconnect the fuel pressure, the fuel pump relay if you can. And then we're going to see what our pressure number comes up as. So I'm just going to screw this in as if it were a spark plug. That's about all it takes. No special science there. We're going to hook up the gauge, and now we're going to crank the motor. We don't want it to start. Ideally we wouldn't put fuel in.
Sweet, I'll go start the car.
Checked a couple of cylinders. You'll notice that the compression on cylinder number 1 is about 170, which is normal. Now the things that you care about are that the 4 cylinders are within 5 or 10% of each other. Anything more than a 5 or 10% deviation and the motor could be injured. But in this case, we tested cylinder number 1, tested it a couple times, we ended up with a 170 reading. Tested number 2, we also ended up with a 170.
And that's a normal, that's a good region to be in?
That's it.
Oh.
The compression ratio is based on several factors, but yes, this is a healthy cylinder on this motor.
Awesome.